My name is JulietWajega. I'm the Deputy General Secretary, Uganda National Teachers Union. I'm also a member of the Executive Board of the Global Partnership for Education. I'm going to share with you some analysis on the strengths and weaknesses of the World Development Report 2018, Learning to Realize Education's Promise. The bank is commended for this first ever report that is intended to promote access to quality education for all. This report also places learning at the center to equip children and youth for the future, to be able to cope with the rapid technological developments. The report also recognizes the key role teachers play in the achievement of quality education. The report also recognizes that the learning crisis is not only driven by service delivery, but also deeper systemic problems, hence the need to align actors to make the entire system work for learning. Now, on the side of weaknesses, this report lacks an in-depth analysis on such important issues such as teacher absenteeism, and it does not go ahead to give practical recommendations. But instead, the report keeps piling blame on the teachers. Why are the teachers absent anyway? They need to do an analysis, not just blaming. And then also the same report blames teachers for education failures, citing unmotivated and unskilled teachers. And yet, on the other hand, the World Bank is pushing for hiring of untrained teachers as a cheap fix and a higher return on investment. This is on page 110 and 170, where they are praising contract teachers. Then the other limitation is on the measure of learning outcomes. In this report, the learning outcomes are looked at as only literacy and numeracy, and yet learning outcomes are beyond only the math and English that is being referred to in the entire report. Then also, the same report points out that there is no consistent evidence that private schools perform better than the public schools. And the report also points out that there are numerous risks of private schooling, such as exclusion of the disadvantaged and segregation and undermining the public education. On page 176 of the World Development Report, it's mentioned that there is no consistent evidence that private schooling has better learning outcomes than the public schools. And it also goes further to mention that such private schools promote exclusion of the disadvantaged and also social segregation and undermine public education. But the same bank supports private education, such as the Bridge International Academies, through its private arm, the International Finance Corporation. Another weakness in the report is that the financing gap is not focused upon, and yet we have an enormous financing gap. Globally, we expect annually the spending to increase from $1.2 trillion to $3 trillion by 2030. And hence the need to have mechanisms of raising such money. Uganda National Teachers Union has been engaged with EI on the global response to education commercialization, particularly in our country on the operations of Bridge International Academies. Bridge International Academies started operations in Uganda in 2015, And by 2016, they had established 63 academies, all unlicensed and in disregard of the national laws. Apart from that, Bridge International Academies has also been operating in very poor structures, using highly scripted curriculum, and also not using a curriculum that is approved by our country. And on top of that, they also use untrained teachers. Something as a teachers union which we felt was not right. And given these circumstances, the government of Uganda responded by closing the Bridge schools. We must all speak against low quality for profit schooling and promote public education.